What is going on, guys? Speaking a little bit lower just because Jasmine's upstairs on a work call. And I've been doing some reflecting. Obviously, one of the last videos I did was talking about how I missed Canada when we was in Canada. And I've been kind of ill since getting back, just like traveling back and not sleeping on the plane and just getting run down from that. So I haven't really done many videos. But I've done some reflecting on I touched on it in the last video with appreciating England and appreciating where I am in life and what I'm doing right now is right for me. But the reflecting I've been doing and analysing is, do I miss Canada at all? Or do I miss what I perceived it was and where I was at that point in life? And what I mean by that is, coffee sip. What I mean by that is, as a kid, I glorified and me and my brother both were obsessed with North American culture. We wanted the cereal. We even, like, when I got older and I started making my own money, I started to order the cereal, like Lucky Charms, Fruit Loops, all the junk food, like Milk Duds and grape-flavored Fanta, all that stuff. Because I was obsessed with kind of like living like an American, a North American. Just from seeing that on TV and glorifying that. And I did that still to the point where I was 26 years old and I left Canada. And that's when I got to Canada, I kind of ate like junk for a good chunk of time. I ate a lot of junk food. Still kept it healthy, still went to the gym and trained, but was kind of overwhelmed by I just felt like I was part of a culture now, like having Fruit Loops on the morning. And that may sound childish from like a 26-year-old man, but as something that I never got to do as a kid, and kind of, again, from a British aspect looking from the outside, it looks cool as a kid. Like, you know, you wanna do that, and you wanna. Again, I say about how I was excited to ride the subway in Toronto. I was excited just to be on the streets. I remember one of the first questions when I got to Canada was Jasmine was like, can you take me to like a super like stereotypical like Truman Show suburban neighborhood? Because I just wanted, again, all that stuff interested me. I remember our first trip to Orlando in 2017. We rented a car and we just drove to like a neighborhood, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. Look at all like the houses, and look at the architecture, and look at the fire hydrants, you know what I mean? Just like stupid, silly things like that, but it made me feel part of the culture. And now when I reminisce, and when I think about it, growing up, I'm now 33, I just don't need, like, a big thing, it even move into the amount of fitness things I can buy in the States and Canada. The fitness world is a lot more advanced and evolved in North America. And I could buy all the protein bars and all the gimmicky stuff. Now, with myself being more mature and evolved, I don't care for that stuff no more. I care more about real food and the gimmicky stuff. Although when I went back to Canada this past August, I kind of fell back into that, getting the protein bars, all this convenient stuff. But what I really missed was being at home, cooking my own food. It's my outlook on life has changed drastically, and it's not about the gimmicky stuff, and it's definitely not enough reason to move somewhere because I can buy cool things or be part of a marketing, be lured in by advertising or whatever. But that, again, and you have to get that out of your system. Like, my younger brother still loves American food, American candy. He eats healthy, but he still loves like the American foods because he's never lived in North America. He's never had it available all the time like I did. I think you probably have to get that out of your system, whatever your perception is You know, like if your perception is like Australia is just sun and people barbecue and people hang out all day and surf, like you probably need to go to Australia and see that, realize that's not quite true. You might have glorified it to a point, like I did with North America, and made this thing that didn't really exist, but in your brain and what you'd been programmed through TV and whatever did exist. Maybe that's something that you need to do to get out of your system. But am I saying I'll never move back to Canada? No, like there's certain things I do really, really miss about Canada. The culture, the people. I think there's a lot of things wrong with Canada right now, but I think in terms of community and friendliness, it's got that down to a T. So, yeah, at some point, expecting a child as we are, I probably envision us raising that child in Canada, but we'll see. But the main point of this video is to kind of say, like, look, the things I miss aren't necessarily real. They're more culture-based things, and sometimes culture can be the enemy of nature. It's a saying that I'm saying quite a bit now. I stole it from someone on a podcast, but I think it was Sam Tripoli on Tinfoil Hat. But culture can be the enemy of nature, because you start to see things that aren't necessarily real, and it's stuff you've idolized and stuff you've kind of created. But yeah, Canada at some point, probably, but more of a realistic approach of what I want out of moving to that country.